Let's put some distance on these eggs and talk about the trace charm. I'm Professorvoqas, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
Just opened up the game here at Bond Park, the bigger park, because I need to walk a lot and they have a lot of walking trails. So I can put a lot of kilometers on and still be able to walk out in the woods, around the lake, that kind of thing. So more entertaining walking than walking maybe the same lap around a smaller area. Over here at my port keys, I'm still half a kilometer on this green Welsh, which actually troubles me a bit. I'm guessing it just hasn't updated because I walked probably at least a half a kilometer just to get to this spot in the park, and it hasn't registered that I've done this because it's been at half a kilometer since last night. So all the movement I've done this morning and then even walking to here hasn't registered yet. But you can see, again, I still just have that random smattering of port keys. So I'm hoping it does. Usually you'll do an update and kind of update your distance. I do plan on continuing to work toward getting bronze on both pages for the port keys, but I am going to amend the strategy. A couple people in the comments of my last video actually talked about kind of a better meta strategy for how to work this, which is to work on the registry page that is local to me. So the Peruvian viper tooth is what I would see normally. I've seen a bunch of them. So it actually makes a lot more sense when you really think about it. So thank you guys that mentioned that in the comments, is to work on that, because if I get that page up higher, so even if I got it to bronze quicker, or go ahead and focus on getting it to silver, is that once this event is over, I'm more likely to see, well, I'm only likely to see Peruvian viper tooths. So I'm going to be placing that image. So I might as well have that page the furthest along, because I'm going to get more benefits every time I place that image if it's further along. If it's on silver, I'm getting more manuals and more everything essentially. So while I am still going to go ahead and unlock all these, after these I'm going to, let's go over to the registry. Down here on out of these 4, I'm going to focus more on this page because it's got the Peruvian viper tooth, which I'll see more, which unfortunately this is the one I'm further away from. So I'm only going to pick up the green port keys and the blue port keys and really focus on getting this page over to bronze first, because then at least I know that's covered for when I'm placing these images in the future, or especially the Peruvian viper tooth. So taking it a step further with that advice, it means once I get both of them to bronze, which I don't think will be too hard because it's enough time for me to walk that many port keys, is then I'll exclusively be working on only the egg fragments from the out of these 4 page to just try to get that to silver. Because if I can get it to silver, then it just means that Peruvian is really going to get me more in the future. I definitely do see the Peruvian viper tooth obviously more often than the other dragons outside the event. It's the only one I ever see. But I do see it often enough that it would be worthwhile. In some of the main areas that I play, I will see it occasionally, so I might as well get more benefit out of it. So that's another strategy you can do, is to figure out what is your local. I mean, if you're in North America, Peruvian viper tooth, but if you're in your other parts of the world, you might actually try to just get that page first, just in case you don't get everything done. At least you'll have the one that you're going to potentially see more of, prestige to a level where you get more every time you place that image. I went ahead and moved because I was having, well, 2 issues. Number one, it started to sprinkle and I wasn't under an overhang, I was just sitting. I do have an umbrella with me, it's just hard to cover the camera and me at the same time and talk. But, and the other reason was I did kind of figure I was in a dead zone. It took forever, but all of a sudden my 0.25 walk for the day, daily reward kicked in, the port key opened, all of that. But it was after I turned off the camera and was already getting ready to move, so that did happen. There is an oddity here. I'm curious, since it's overcast, if it's going to be an Azkaban escapee. Nope, it's a centaur. All right, short work of that. And the reason Azkaban escapee is I need 1 more for the page that the 3-headed dog I put the green star on. I just need 1 more to put the green star on that page as well. Now, I still need a ton of Death Eaters, so I'm going to wait for that new moon and then hopefully hit that. But all right, well, there's a blue port key next to me, which I do want to pick up because we talked about doing that page first. And I have a port key right here that's ready to open. I'm not going to worry about Brufios. I'm not overly concerned with experience at this exact moment, and there's a couple things we're about to do. So I'm just going to collect that and back out. Yeah, I only got 50 experience out of it, so it wouldn't have been a huge boost having the Brufios. Got a unicorn hair and some oddity experience, family experience, and then the common Welsh green egg, of course. But let me back out real quick before this port key disappears. Let me pick up that blue one. So we're going for blue and green now, essentially. But I already went ahead and put a Chinese Fireball one in. I'm just going to go down the line. It's just any new ones I pick up, I'll just continue to pick up blue and green. There was a dragon trace here just a second ago. Before I turned the camera on, I said, oh, there it is. Well, let me turn it on. We'll maybe get it together. And then it disappeared. So I'm really hoping a new one appears. By the way, so if you look, this, well, I'm going to back way out. That port key down there, it kind of looks like a regular port key. Actually, the one directly above me right now. It looks like a regular. Now, even from here, I can already see the white ring around it. That's why I've talked about zooming in, because once you zoom in, see, now looking at it, you can really see that that is not a normal port key. Not to mention that halo around it. Well, I say halo, it's at the bottom, not the top. But that glowing around it definitely separates it from a normal port key. Ooh, look, it's a Marauders map. Let's see if I can pull this off. For those of you that do not watch my videos, for some reason, this particular foundable, that was a terrible cast, has been departing from me very quickly. Oh, nice, I got it. That was second cast, actually. That was second cast. So for a little while, I say a little while, a couple days, I just had a string of these guys departing on me all the time. Nice, Marauders map, 1 out of 12. Over in potions, I have been doing more extimulos. I finished up all those Barufios. 3 of them is what I've been brewing since like yesterday. And now I'm back onto some extimulos. But after these 3, we're going to go back to Barufios. You can see I have 9 more I can brew. I feel like I got 5 Toadstool yesterday from port keys. I got 3 from one and 2 from another. I think that's it. If I got any more, it was an even number. I got either 2 more or 4 more because I have an even number now. So, but I do go through extimulos a lot. It's for things that I'm not as worried about, but I still want to use a potion. Not to mention the achievement for using extimulo potions versus traces. I'm still working on that. So I figure that's a good way to just keep racking it up and giving myself a little better chance to get foundables. But the Barufios I really need just for that experience game. 437, 107 out of 450. So 13,000, it's slightly less, but around 13,000 experience to level up to the next level, which is 46, which means I finally open up that mastery node, and then right below it I can get cold case so that my trace charm can get to 5 charges total I can hold, which is the maximum you can gain. So one thing I've noticed already about the game right now today is I've been to 2 spots so far, totally separate from each other. Both of them had spawns. I mean, you can see I have a bunch of spawns around me. I've seen no dragons. So yesterday I was seeing them. I mean, there wasn't a spot like this I would have walked to that wouldn't have had at least 2. So I am curious what's going on with the spawn rate of the dragons. While we're waiting for a spawn to appear or to move to another area, let me talk about 2 things we're going to do today. 1, walk port keys. Even if it starts raining, I brought my umbrella. Not Hagrid's umbrella. That's too small. I needed a real umbrella. But I am ready in this park to walk in the rain if necessary. I'll probably put the camera away and walk, and I'll just update you how far we got, and if anything exciting happened, I'll certainly show it to you. But the second thing, more informative for those of you that maybe aren't aware, and honestly, I'm still want to verify it for myself, which is the trace charm, how many fragments we're currently getting, and how the clones work and what clones. So really the 3 cases we're gonna go after today is putting a trace charm on something normal. I'm not worried about, do I get emergencies, do I get severe? I could put it on a common one, it really doesn't matter. It's if you put it on a wild spawn, does it clone itself? And how many fragments do you get from the original? How many do you get from the clone? And how many do you get from the traces that it produces? Just to verify that it should be 2. It should be 2. It should be 1 plus the additional. The second case I want to study is if when you put it on something produced from the tonic for trace detection. Not a trace that is spawned from your trace charm. When you put a tonic for trace detection on and it produces them, and it has that red pink swirl around it, so you know it is a tonic for trace detection spawn. If you put the trace charm on that, does it create a clone? How many fragments do you get from the clone? How many do you get from the original? How many do you get from the other ones? Again, it should be 2 is what you're expecting, but we'll see what happens. And then the last thing is dark detectors, putting a dark detector on them in, putting the trace charm on a spawn that has been spawned from the dark detector. Again, does it clone itself? how many fragments from each, that type of thing. So we're going to go over those 3 cases just so you know how it should be working, and it'll make it easier for you to make good decisions about what you want to use the trace charm on based on how many fragments you think you're going to get from that and if it's going to clone itself and that type of thing. All right, I moved again around 4 in so I can get energy, although I'm over max energy right now. But finally a emergency level just to make it worth it for the trace charm. So again, don't have a tonic on, this is a wild spawn. You can see it is a Chinese fireball. So let's go to the registry. Perfect. Down here at the registry, you can see Chinese fireball, emergency. I am 0 out of 3. I have no fragments right now. So let's back out. Let's go ahead and drop the trace charm on that. Definitely hit it. Nice. So let's go ahead and get the original first and see how many fragments it gives us. Nice, I credited it on the first one. So again, this screen a lot of times messes up. See, it says 3 out of 3, but down here you get the real. So it's 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3. So I got 2 fragments from the original. Again, wild spawn, this is what we expected. So now if we look, so this is either one of the traces or the clone itself. All right, I just hit that. I believe here's the problem though. Now I'm not sure, was this the clone? Now, oh, you see I said +2. I got a max fragment bonus. So I did get 2 fragments out of that. The thing is, was that the clone? Or was that the just what it spawns? So let's go place the image anyway. There we go, placing the image. Mainly to get it back to 0 so that if the other one is the clone, then we'll know. Hopefully it gives us 2 fragments and then it won't matter which was which. We'll just know we get 2 fragments from each. Which honestly, I say we'll know. We already expect this. This is already the behavior we expect. So if you look, it does have the sparkles around it. I'm gonna click on it. Okay, good. So that was the clone. This is what it produced. It actually produced a 3-headed dog. I just realized before I kill the 3-headed dog, let's go to the registry and just to verify, and we want to do this each time because a lot of times the reward screen has been messed up. So if you look at Fluffy 3-headed dog, I'm 4 out of 7 fragments. I'm 4 out of 7. So now we're going to go back in. So now we know we're at 4, we can see where we are afterwards. I was just about to kill him too. It did appear at the top of the screen before, I had just missed it, and I also wanted to verify in the registry where I was too, just in case this screen was also messed up. There we go, we took him out. So again, see at the top it actually said 5 out of 7 to begin with. We know I'm not 5 out of 7, I'm 4 out of 7. So now I'm 6 out of 7 because I got 2 fragments from that. So you can also see this oddity right in front of me. It is sparkling. Let's see what it is first of all. I'm assuming, yep, it's the Welsh green. So let's go to the registry. So for the Welsh green, you can see 4 out of 5 fragments in the registry. So we can back out. Let's re-engage him. Now it does say that at the top, 4 out of 5, but we're just verifying that it all matches up. Because in the reward screen, a lot of times it's messed up. Nice, all right, so took him out. So again, see up at the top, it says 5 out of 5, and I got the max fragment bonus. Because I was 4 out of 5, and it did give me a max fragment bonus, which means I was going over max. So I did get 2 out of that. It stops at 5. But it allows me to place the image, which I will place. 50 oddities family experience and 4 ministry manuals, which gets me this rank up right here. 1,000 experience. Some scrolls. I'm saving scrolls as well. I have nothing really to spend them on, but who knows, the new lessons for Professor or a Magologist, so maybe scrolls will come back and be relevant, or they'll let us convert them. So this is one of the comments that my trace charm actually did produce. I'm actually at the top, you can see 54 out of 55, which means I should get to place this image, but hopefully I should get the max fragment bonus, because I should get a fragment, then a bonus fragment, which gives me that. So hopefully we return it. Yes, we got it. So going to the screen, oh, you know what? I just clicked through it too fast. I clicked through it too fast. We are going to place that image anyway. Nice. So if you look on the pumpkin patch, I'm on gold, but I haven't actually placed this image to get the green star. So this will green star it. So not super exciting because everything happened exactly the way we thought it should and it has been behaving. But with them messing with the trace charm, it never hurts to just re-go over this. And for those of you maybe newer to the game, you might not have known exactly how that worked. So trace charm, put it on a trace. It will produce more traces. Everything should give you 2 fragments. The original trace, the traces it produces, and after you return the original trace, a clone comes out, and that trace also gives you 2 fragments, which should be the same. So if you put it on something you're really looking to get fragments from, you should get 4. 2 from the original and 2 from the clone. On to the next trace charm, which is a tonic for trace detection foundable, which I literally just put the tonic for trace detection on, and you can see right there in front of me, you can see the swirling around it. It actually gave me an oddity emergency level. So let's click on it first to make sure we know what it is. 2 out of 3 fragments on this Peruvian viper tooth. So let's back out. Let's go ahead and throw the trace charm on it first. Make sure I hit that. Nice. So let's see what it gave me actually first. All right, so it gave me a Chinese fireball. I'm going to run from that. Oh, yeah, well, that's okay. You can see Chinese fireball and that. Those are the 2 things it gave me. So let's go ahead and hit the Chinese fireball first. We're not actually going to hit the original first. I'm 2 out of 3 fragments on this. There we go. We'll let it go through the reward screen so we can really see. So again, it gave me 2 fragments. I got the max fragment bonus, so I got 2 fragments from that. Yep, and I should be at 3 anyway because I only needed 1 more. We'll go ahead and place that image. So tonic for trace detection. If you put it on a spawn created by that, the traces you get, like the one I just returned, you're going to get 2 fragments again. By the way, we may level up in the middle of this. I'm really close. All right, so then let's go after the original. So this is the original spawn. Haven't seen a clone yet or anything like that. It shouldn't appear till after this, if it's going to appear at all. I'm 2 out of 3 fragments on this. Let's see how many fragments I get. Nice. So crit. Whoa, that got weird for a second. Now there, it just said it gave me 2 fragments and I got a max fragment bonus, which tells me I got 2 fragments out of that. Unless that screen's messed up. Oh, there's the level up. I told you it was coming. Nice, new SOS training. It's that level 46 node. 10 gold, silver key, Barufios. Ooh, dark detector, strong extimulo, and 25 spell energy. Nice. Oh, it's going to want us to go to training. We're going to back... I'm backing out of there. We'll go into there later. All right, so... Oh, let's see. Does a clone appear, though? Yep, and we haven't floated. I've been next to this inn that I'm next to right now constantly. So, as you can see, using tonic for trace detection, as my original spawn, I'm not getting a clone unless it appears in just a little bit. And I think you see that port keys there? My vault's been full for a little bit, so it's 2 blue ones too, which I need. Anyway, let's click on another trace and see. Oh my gosh. So this is an example of something. I have 23 extimulo potions. There's something I'm going to use the extimulo on because I just don't ever see these. Oh, I should get 2 fragments from this if I return it because this is from the trace charm. Sweet. +1, +1. You know, I didn't look too closely at it, but I could have sworn it actually was from the, oh, it might have been from the trace charm. I mean, it might have been from the tonic for trace detection and not from the trace charm. I didn't look closely enough, and I haven't, I'm recording right now, so I'm not going to be able to look at this footage till later, and I really won't scour through it. So we'll look at it together later, and we'll talk about it. This one, for sure, had the sparkles that this is from the trace charm itself. So I should get double fragments from this, I think. Yes, 2 fragments. There we go. Sweet. 11 out of 15. The top always actually starts you at 1 higher fragment count than you're supposed to be. So if you really have 10 fragments, when it first shows the reward screen, it'll show to at 11. Then it'll bump you up. Then when you get to this screen, it goes back down. So for mine, it actually said 10, and it said I went up to 12. I was really at 9, and I went up to 11. So again, so you can see I'm still not seeing a clone. So tonic for trace detection, when we just threw the trace charm on it. Oh, is that the clone? It might be. Oh, wait, it says, oh, you know what? We haven't placed this image, so let's run away. Yeah, we're going to run away. We're going into the registry. We got to place the image first. We're going to get some rank ups. All right, place the image. So now let's go back out, and we're going to go ahead and return. And actually, so even looking at it, so you can see this has the pink swirls around it. It is from the tonic for trace detection, not from my trace charm. I mean, we're still going to get it, but it should only give me 1 fragment. Nice, crit, so I got to one-shot that. So +1 fragment, yep, should be just 1 because it's not from that. So again, that still wasn't the clone. So to sum up what we just, I say found out, or at least verified from my study right there. There's another, there's another emergency. But anyway, putting the trace charm on a foundable that has spawned from a tonic for trace detection does not produce a clone. Now, things I've seen on Reddit and discussions on Discord, other people have said the same thing. So I guess, again, not something unexpected from how this all worked. Did get 2 fragments from the original, as far as I could tell from the screen, unless the screen was just telling me I was getting max fragment when I really wasn't. But it appeared that I still got 2 fragments from the original, as well as 2 fragments from the traces that it created. All right, let's hit this first, though. By the way, this was from the tonic for trace detection. So the tonic for me, granted, it's been like 10 minutes since I started it, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, 1 fragment from that. It's been about 10 minutes, but I've gotten 2 dragons from it, so not a great rate, but not none. So again, it's RNG. You could do 1, you could do 2 in a row and get none, and you could do 2 in a row and get 10 out of it. I mean, it's possible. All right, so the last thing we need to do is put a dark detector on this inn. That's why I came to this spot. It's also under an awning, so that it's raining right now, so that I'm not getting rained on, and my camera is also not getting rained on, which is important. But let's go ahead and click on this inn. Let's put a dark detector down. And we're gonna have to really zoom in and make sure, and we're just gonna put 1. It doesn't really matter what it is. We're just going to put 1 down, and we're just going to really make sure to zoom in to make sure that the foundable that we're putting the trace charm on is indeed from the dark detector, which I'm actually going to try to clear some... Oh, look, Hagrid's umbrella. I'm going to try to clear some traces out just so we have space. I actually came to this area because there was only 1 inn. I wanted less foundables getting in the way of us seeing what was happening. Nice. Again, another Hagrid's umbrella. Look at that, 8 out of 55. So like I said, there you go, I've seen 8 since I was having so much trouble day after day finding it. All right, well, it is definitely on. All right, so I see 1 right there. We're gonna actually click on it. I'm starting to clear out. We're not gonna put the trace charm on it. In the interdepartmental memos, this is a dark detector trace. We are gonna wait and see if we get something a little bit better than that. We're gonna hope for a little higher level foundable, and then we're gonna put the trace charm on that, and then we'll go ahead and figure out how it all goes. All right, that didn't take too long. Right over here, kind of upper left of my screen, next to that emergency that just popped up, you can see the swirls underneath. That tells me it's from the dark detector. Let's click on it real quick. It's Draco Malfoy. I did already look at it. So again, fragments 0 out of 10. We're 0 out of 10. Oh, did he move? He did. He moved back over there. I'm going to back up a little. There we go. So that'll make it a little easier. Oh, you know what? I am out of trace charms. I need to go to my dailies. I've been waiting to do this. I'm going to go ahead and collect, re-up my trace charm, as well as my inn charm still had some space. The greenhouse, I kind of just wasted 1. I'm not too worried about it, though. So anyway, let's go ahead. Oh, my gosh. All right, I'm hitting this Peruvian real quick, and we'll show... I'll show you what happened. Oh, nice, I got a crit. Sweet, level up, rank up, and I'm going to also... Oh, trace charm recharge. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. So I have 2 of them now. And let me place that image as well. Okay, so by the way, I was just about to say Draco actually despawned while we were doing that. But look what it just appeared. You can see it right there. It's a mysterious artifact, and it has the swirls. So let's click on it. Let's just make sure. Fragments, 1 out of 3. It is the time turner. So before it despawns, trace charm, boom, right on it. All right, it produced the oddity with the red beam at the lower end of the screen, not the higher end. That far one actually is just a tonic for trace detection spawn. There is another oddity over there that had also spawned a regular oddity. So we're going to go after the original first. We're going to go after the original. So right now we're 1 out of 3. We're seeing if we get 2 fragments. We would go to max fragments. I'm going to use a potion for this to hopefully make it so I can return it. Because if I can't return it, it makes this... Do I have a dawdle draft? I don't have a dawdle draft. We're just hoping I get a decent cast and it returns for us. Because if it departs, then we don't get any information. Nice, we got it, we got it. All right. So let's see what it gives us. 1, 2, it's saying it just gave us 2 fragments. Let's wait till it goes to the actual screen and we'll see. 3 out of 3. If it lets me place the image, we know we got it. Yeah, it's letting me place the image. So I'm going to place that image. So first things first, dark detector, trace charm on it, got 2 fragments from the original. Question is, do we get a clone? Backing out. Nice. I see the clone. So we're going to hit the clone. It is the clone. We're at 0 out of 3. So let's see what we get here. Oh, nice. I still have my Extimulo going. Oh, hopefully we can turn this too. I'm not too worried about returning it, but in this case we really want to see what happens and we don't want it to depart on us. I do have trouble with this cast. That is one thing that's a bummer about it. Ugh, don't run. All right, I'm gonna put another one on. I really have practiced this, I promise you, and I just am not good at it. Oh, we got it anyway, we got it. Whew. So now we can see. Do we get 2 fragments from it, is the question. You saw that. And that was a clone. I saw the swirls underneath. It was the clone. So there it is, 1 out of 3. So the clone of a dark detector, again, in the comments, let me know if you're like, no, it doesn't ever work that way. It just worked for you that one time. But this is also what I expected. I've read, people have said that the clone of it gives you only 1 fragment because we're not even sure if the clone is supposed to be working that way. Nice. So this just popped up on the dark detector also. It's not part of the trace charm or anything, but I just wanted one of these. I just don't see these a lot, so exciting. Nice, Mandrake. All right, well, at the moment, I don't see anything. I see nothing that's been created by the trace charm. I'm not seeing those sparkles. I see a bunch of stuff from the tonic for trace detection, but not things from the trace charm itself that have, you know, that unique sparkling that you would normally see. I'm not seeing anything. That oddity that was there before has disappeared. We weren't gone too long, so hopefully, I'm hoping it appears at some point. All right, I'm going to click on some of these oddities. I'm just kind of clearing some things out. I knew an Azkaban escapee would show up. Sweet. All right, I think that might be the last fragment I needed. +1. Oh, I'm 26 out of 30. I thought it was 25 fragments, so I thought it was closer. Well, I mean, I'm 4 away. That's pretty close. So these other ones might be, yeah, that's from the, yeah, so currently I'm not seeing any other things created from the trace charm, but I do see a bunch of oddities here. More Azkaban escapees. We'll take it. And 28 out of 30. Will there be another one over here? Is this other one another Azkaban escapee? Could be. It could be a centaur, too. No, it is another one. Sweet. Gotta love rainy weather for this. So many in one spot, though. That's surprising, just this many this quickly. I'll usually kind of see them trickle through as the rain is happening. All right, so what is that, 29? Yeah, 29. So on that page, 3-headed dog, already green starred. Azkaban escapee, I just need 1 more, but then I think it might be 15 Death Eaters. I could look at the page later. I have 0. I just know the next new moon I need to get a bunch of Death Eaters. All right, that's from the dark detector. Nice, Moaning Myrtle. So the trace charm on a dark detector spawn got us 2 fragments from the original. It did produce a clone, but the clone only gave us 1 fragment. So that is just something to know, that if it's something from a dark detector, you're not getting 4 fragments as if it was a wild spawn, and it's not tonic for trace detection, in which case you get no clone from it whatsoever. A dark detector, you do that. So wild spawns obviously are going to be the best for that. Ah, look at this. Dark detector is actually giving me some higher threat foundables, which is nice. I only put 1 down too. I actually just placed this image a little while ago off camera, so I think I'm back to 0. And I'm still at 0 after that departed. Sweet. There you go. 30 out of 30. Let's go place that image. No reason not to. 13 Death Eaters. You can see it in the background there. 0 out of 13. So the next new moon, if I can get 13 of them, I can get out of these 5 2 gold. It's the only thing holding me back at the moment, which will be fun. Especially because I do see these guys a lot. So if I get it to gold, it just means when I finally do build up that image and place it, I just get that much more Ministry Manual wise and treasure trunks, that type of thing. Backing out. I do have a silver key, but I'm not going to use it right now. My new plan is to not use any silver keys, to do gold key, see how far I can make it. And if I feel like I'm within striking distance, I might even purchase the 10 keys since I have enough gold to do it, and then use those 10 keys. If I already know my pacing is to use those 10 keys to make it to silver, or if craziness, if I was like, oh, if I use that, I can make it to gold, I'm going to do it. So really only if I can prestige a page, not simply just to do it. I would just wait for another event at that point. So let's get walking. Didn't make it too much further with port keys. I ended up just opening up 2 more, and then the one that I have now, I have 0.6 kilometers out of it. It started getting dark, and they actually closed the gates at that park, so I knew I needed to get out in time. Of course, there's some extra time, but I didn't want to accidentally get stuck. But I do have 4 Peruvians lined up, and then 1 common Welsh green that I'm on, and then 1 other one. So I am slowly picking up more of the ones that we're going for. I do have a red dot on the registry, so let's go check that out. I'm pretty sure it's, yeah, I was to say, it's probably just an oddities rank up, which I want to go to the oddities anyway. Nice. Because if you look down at, all the way down at the bottom, so we are now 11 out of 30 on Azkaban Escapees. And if you recall, we were 25 out of 30 when we started, because I got that one and I was 26 out of 30. So I actually got 16 Azkaban Escapees just in that short session. They just kept coming, and you saw them in the little montage right before this. I put some of them up there, and then I just stopped recording them, because I mean, they just kept popping up, in addition to dragons. Also, the Antipodean Opali you saw, right at the end there, that's the only one I saw that whole time. I hadn't actually seen one the whole session until that one. I kept seeing the other 3 over and over, and for some reason that one. I did get to place, I think, 3 dragon images within that last little bit there. I was 1 away on all of them, so I got to do that. And even after the level up and not using Abrufios today, I actually ended up getting 31,000 experience just from dragons. So this dragon event definitely has helped with experience, and with Abrufios, it'll be even more, which I'll probably use some tomorrow. I've stocked up a couple. I think I have an Extimulo ready to collect there, yeah. But you can see I actually have the Abrufios coming right there. Let me put these master notes in. Oh. There we go. I was rushing a little. So, Barufios, I believe I have maybe 2 or 3. Oh, never mind. I have 5. Oh, I had 4, and then I got 1 from leveling up, I believe. So that's why I was off. But I actually didn't think I had that many. Nice. So I have 5 going into tomorrow, which means now I feel like I can use them a little bit more and gain some experience. Although we didn't cover all aspects of how Trace Charm works, mainly because of time. That really would be a video unto itself. Though the 2 aspects I wanted to go over, the fragments and the cloning, were 2 that I feel have somewhat changed a little bit. The fragments, certainly, and I wanted people to understand how many fragments you're going to get from those spawns, and then especially from the original and from the clone, if you even get a clone, so that people can make better decisions about how to use their trace charms. So I hope that did help some of you out, and hopefully that is not something they will change, because again, they have not addressed whether that's a bug or not. I haven't, no official source, as far as I know, has said that idea of it cloning is a bug, we're going to change it. They've changed a lot of other things without saying anything was a bug either. The fragments from each, and then the traces themselves duplicating. They never actually said it was a bug until they said they were about to fix it, and then they fixed it. Fixed it, meaning nerfed it down to where it was, which I have another video about the trace charm being nerfed and what had happened. Anyway, as fun as a time I definitely had fighting all those dragons and using the trace charms, I still made very little progress with my port keys, which really is what I need to be doing. So tomorrow I'm hoping to put a little more distance on port keys and maybe fill out those pages fully to bronze, or at least get so within striking distance so I feel like I'm making progress. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Nox.